coming to you live from the Big Tent at the Carousel, Northern Province, where we're in the third fight of an international 8-rounder between Giovanni Pretorius, the unbeaten South African, and the British Midlands middleweight champion, Antonio Fernandez. I'm Leonard Neal. With me tonight at ringside, all the way from the United States, Bob Spagnola.
Thanks so much, Leonard. We're starting the second round here. Picking it up. Third round, excuse me. I've got the fight even right now. I scored the first round for Fernandez, and Pretorius took over in the second, and it seems like he got the information for his corner. Hey, shorten up that distance and work the inside, and he was very successful in doing it. And I think that Fernandez, because he had some success in the first round, landing some clean shots on Giovanni, he thinks, hey, I'm going to load up and get this guy out of there, but I don't think he's up to that task.
Well, of course, Giovanni, who wisely, I think, took the first round pretty easy. He wasn't going to let too much go, but he got into action in the second round, moved into his full stride, and he caught Fernandez during that second round with a peach of a right hand to the head. We thought the Briton would go down, but he didn't. And right now, he's fighting back quite well. Pretorius has this habit, of course, being a fighter primarily. He walks in and, as they say, very often uses his face to lead with, and he very often does that. And Hernandez was quick to pick that up. He's caught him with some pretty good shots, but most of the big punching has been coming from Pretorius.
Yeah, Fernandez did land a good straight right hand there to start this third round, and it's Brian Lynch's corner man in between rounds had told him, hey, this guy's like a goalkeeper. He catches everything.
Very good comment from the British corner. Very true, too. Pretorius often walks out of a ring looking like he's the loser, and yet he's unbeaten in 20 fights. But that's the way he fights, and he's full of action. He's all the way. He seems to have a little bit of trouble with his left eye at the moment. Yeah, I think there might be a bit of a nick on the side of it.
Giovanni, watch his head, baby. First now, follow.
And that's Pretorius. He'll go for it whenever he can get the opportunity. He throws punches. I'm surprised to see Fernandez is actually backing off as much as he is right now, which gives me the idea that somewhere along the line he's been stung by a good shot.
Oh, he certainly has. He's tested Pretorius's power, and Pretorius throws his punches from such awkward angles. You know, a good defensive fighter. There again, you know, he doesn't. There's no. I mean, he throws straight punches, but he mixes them up. He mixes up his rhythm, and you really have no idea what direction the punch is going to come from. He's very awkward in his offense, and there he just barely catches Fernandez on the point of the chin with a swooping hook.
Well, some of Fernandez's movements look like they're almost as though he's doing them in a dream, because he's been hit by some pretty good shots, and that right hander that stunned him earlier there from Pretorius, that really wobbled him. He's taken 2 or 3 of those in this first 3 rounds of this fight, and I'm wondering how much longer he can go against them.
Yeah, well, but he's a very durable fighter, he's shown.
Shakes his head quite pronouncedly as he goes back to his corner with a good wobble, as much as say, I'm going to clear those cobwebs out of it somewhere or other.
How you feeling? Huh?
What's up? Take a breath.
Close it off.
Sure.
Well, here we see some of the slow motion. One of the things about Pretorius, I will say, is that he's got this ability to bob and weave, and he needs it sometimes because, as we've said, he uses his face a little too often as a battering ram. But he does bob and weave and move the shoulders very well to get out of shots.
No, it's kind of a herky-jerky motion, which makes it very difficult for his opponent to time him in any way.
Well, upcoming is round 4, schedule 8. International middleweights, black gold over there, Antonio Fernandez from Birmingham, and Giovanni Pretorius, the man in the black and white striped trunks. And right now, Pretorius going full out for his man, trying to get in with those close-range shots of his. That's where he wants to be. He wants to be in as close as he can and bang away body and head. He's an all-action fighter, is Pretorius. Never stops moving.
And Fernandez seems to have gotten back in more of a defensive mode here, Leonard. He's not and a nice right hand, nice combination by Pretorius. Here Fernandez answers back, but he seems to be in more of a defensive mode, backing up, trying to box, but not busy with his hands, trying to stay in that defensive position to ward off Giovanni Pretorius.
Well, he's taken a few good shots, as Fernandez. The right hand has banged off of him 3 or 4 times up to now, and there's been a lot of power behind them. He's ridden them very, very well. I'll give him that much. He can take a shot well as this man from Birmingham.
He's taken them from middleweights, and you know it would seem to think that he would be able to take them even from a hard-punching junior middleweight.
Yeah, there's a little bit of flesh on Pretorius. You can see he can go back to the junior middleweights whenever he wants to. Although he's putting in a challenge for the South African middleweight title, but I think he's better at home in the lower division.
Right. In speaking with Nick Duran, he told me that he thought Giovanni could win the South African middleweight title, and even as a catchweight fighter, he felt like that it would add a lot of credibility to his fighter. And I mean, nice looping right hand.
Fernandez felt that one all the way down. He was stunned for the moment. He stood dead in his tracks. I'm not sure whether he was undecided whether to stand up or go down, but that one really hurt him and banged him on the side of the head.
Right, and he's clutching on the inside now, which is no shame when you get hit by a right-hander like that.
And another one goes in. Fernandez certainly is a man who can take a punch. He's taken good right-handers that would have dropped most men.
Keep trying, baby, keep trying.
And still able to throw the odd one against, but now he's really wobbling against Pretorius now. Pretorius looking for the kill, going in. The legs wobble. He needs a good shot to go through. He's trying to find it. Fernandez wobbling but keeping himself out of harm's way as much as he can.
He really is, but this is the kind of thing that gives Giovanni Pretorius his adrenaline a surge. He sees his opponent slowing down there, rocking on the ropes, and it just puts a big shot of high test into him, and he just attacks.
Well, he's all over his man now. He's going for him as much as he can. Still taking the odd punch from Fernandez, who puts in one whenever he can, gets through with the right. It's not difficult to get through with those punches against Pretorius. He's pretty open to them.
No, it was an excellent right hand that really got Pretorius' attention there, but he's right back to business.
He's set. Okay? And when you're coming forward to that jab or when your head moving, you're walking into his punches, huh?
Giovanni, after you close those 1-2, don't wait in front of him because he's counter-punching. That's where he's catching you.
In and out, in and out.
After we throw you 1-2, don't wait in front of him.
Well, there you see some of the slow-mo, and Nick Durant in the corner warning Pretorius, you're walking into too many of his punches, and he's right too, because Pretorius, very much in command of most of the situation here and landing the good shots, is allowing himself to get clipped far too often.
Really, but it's a hard thing to tell a kid like Giovanni Pretorius to worry about his defense too much.
Well, we're into the 5th round now with it, and it's going to be interesting to see how many more of those shots from Giovanni Pretorius are going to land and how much longer Antonio Fernandez can stand up against them.
I really like the way Pretorius mixes up his punches, you know, changes the speed of his punches. He doesn't throw everything looping, you know, when he's on the inside, which is his office, he works his hands in there with just short punches to keep his opponent uncomfortable so that he can't rest in there. And then he will, from the outside, throw the booming hook and the booming right hand.
Nice right uppercut going in there. Punch he doesn't use very much, but occasionally does when he gets in close.
Just like this, roughing a fighter up on the inside, he'll get some distance in there, and then he'll rip that right hand.
He knows he can get on with that right hand as much as he wants to against this Briton who keeps coming in on him, but by coming in on Pretorius, he's allowing him just that opportunity. He wants to throw the right over the top. And Giovanni is landing with that right hand shot more and more often now.
Fernandez again has gotten into, he's holding on the inside. He's not doing enough to win this fight. He's kind of been put in a defensive mode by the power punches of Pretorius. He lets go with a good right-hander occasionally, but he's just not doing enough to win this fight, and he's got to know that. You know, he can't expect to come to the other fighter's backyard and win boxing defensively.
Good variety of shots coming from Pretorius. He actually is varying him a great deal right now. In close, he throws both hands underneath, over the top, and he's using long-range stuff as well, but he's learning one other tactic here, and that's how to get away from the holding. because a fighter like he is going to find that as he gets into better company, so there's going to be more and more holding from the old journeyman.
Sure, and you know, when he fights in a championship fight and maybe with a referee in another guy's country, the referee's he's not going to let him do his work in his office in here, which he loves. Right in here, that's where he works, working both hands. The other fighter's holding with one, and Giovanni's working his free hand.
Well, now for the first time, referee Kamlashi has given Fernandez a warning for holding. And he's been doing an awful lot of that there again. He gets his left hand crooked over the right of Pretorius and pulls it to him so Giovanni can't throw, and that's his danger blow.
Fernandez bleeding from the mouth here, which is surprising it didn't happen sooner.
Well, at the end of this night, he'll know that he's been in a fight. He's taken some pretty good punches along the route.
Excellent, you know, I mean, a tough fight to put your fighter in with. Oh, and a good counter left hook. But Pretorius, no stranger to being hit, right back to business as usual.
He got stung by that punch. That punch really hurt him from Fernandez. And that's something you've got to be careful of. But when he gets into the battles with the bigger boys who can really sock, a punch like that can take him right out of his stride. Well, here we see slow-mo from the previous round, and there's Pretorius working in close, the right hand coming over the top. That's been his best shot up to now, bringing the right over the top of the defense and landing pretty regularly with it. He himself smacked on the jaw there by that right hand from Fernandez.
Good counter punch from Fernandez, but definitely not enough to win the round. You know, he's got in such a defensive mode against Pretorius that, you know, when he does come out of that with a good shot, he lands, but it's not enough for him to win.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Don't go out there and do your own thing again. Go out there and listen. I've come all this way and you're not even listening to me. Wipe you on the left hand. Get the legs moving. Mug him.
Now there's a new one to be said in the corner. Get the legs moving. Mug him. Now that's something I haven't heard or seen in the ringer for a long, long time.
Brian Lynch, a real pro in this business, getting animated with his fighter in between rounds.
Well, do you get on his side or against him when you're in Birmingham?
Oh, I'm sure he has a lot of friends at home. Developed a lot of fighters over the years. But here we've seen the maturing of Giovanni Pretorius in here with a solid international opponent. See, that's a problem with Fernandez. He knows when he stays in the defensive mode, he feels like he can block some of these punches from Pretorius. When he lets his hand go, he's getting hit with the counters from Pretorius, and he's just not willing to go through that. He's just not willing to pay that price. But he is trying to move his left hand and the jab a little bit more in this round, listening to his corner. But the counters by Pretorius will probably put him back into that defensive shell, Leonard.
Yeah, good left jab and a good left hook from Fernandez went through, found their mark, but not enough to worry Pretorius. It might have stung him, but there isn't enough power in this British Midlands fighter to worry Pretorius, even though he is the bigger man. Pretorius still going forward. I thought by now he would have found more use for that right hand, but he seems to be reluctant to use it in this round as much as in the previous rounds.
Now this is where he wants to work right here. Throwing these punches from these awkward angles really is unsettling to his opponent. Oh, and a nice left jab to unsettle Fernandez. Got him holding on here.
Yeah, Pretorius does that every now and again. He sort of walks in with that left jab, and
it's a power punch.
He rams it in, and of course there's a lot of punch in it, a lot of power in it. And when he can get the right following in it, that's dangerous. Nice right hand there. There, he's varying the right hand again, and he's using it to advantage here. He hooks it over the top, and then he brings it underneath in an uppercut.
And he hits him with a power jab again, and he's got Fernandez holding on. Nice hook uppercut on the inside, but John, for Pretorius, you can see he's really got Fernandez holding on here. He's been swallowing a lot of blood for the last few rounds, and he doesn't want much more of this, I don't think.
Well, full credit to Fernandez. He's in there and he's still trying to make a fight of it. Of course, he'd been in with a lot of good ones in Britain and on the continent, so he knows what fighting's all about. But he's taken some good shots here and he hasn't given up. A lot of blood coming out of his mouth now.
And that's only indicative of the kind of blood he's swallowing, and he's hurt now.
That shot hurt him. He's hurt from close range. Pretorius trying to get through, and Fernandez.
Pretorius won't let him rest here, Leonard.
Oh, and another right goes in. There's the gong ends the round. That was a tough round for Fernandez to have to get to the end of. And he's still got 2 to have to go through.
So much for mugging him.
Well, here we have some of the slow motion from that round. It was a round in which Fernandez was trying to get in as close as possible. He was doing a lot of the holding work, and there he does it quite well. He pushes the elbow into the body, and as soon as Pretorius thrusts against that, he goes into grips, pulls his hands across Pretorius, holds him tight.
But Pretorius is such a relentless fighter. You know, guys holding him doesn't bother. Whatever his free hand is, that's what he's going to take. That's what he's going to work. And that's his office. That's his bill of fare here.
Well, he, of course, right now, I think after 6 rounds, Fernandez knows the real power that lies in this young man. Pretorius is a real power puncher.
Break up.
Round 7 of a scheduled 8. Giovanni Pretorius, the man in the black and white. And a good right hand. That's the punch he's been looking for. That really took this British fighter out, and there is no chance that Antonio Fernandez will get up off the floor. He is out cold. A clear knockout if ever you had one. What a punch.
That looping right hand to the temple, he'd been landing it throughout the fight, but he never got that kind of leverage on it. We saw what the end result was.
Well, this man is down. He's out. He's as cold as you can make them, and that punch was a real knockout shot if ever you've had. That was one of the most stunning knockouts we've ever seen in this ring.
And what a feather in Giovanni Pretorius's cap to knock out a full-fledged middleweight like this, and one that's demonstrated to have a very good chin. Let's hope that Fernandez is all right, because he's not come out of this yet, Leonard.
Well, the good, clean one-shot knockout like that is usually the punch that stuns you cold for a while, but here we get the slow-mo. Let's have a look and see. There's the punch. Bang! On the side of the jaw, and down goes Fernandez. That took everything with it. It caught him on the side of the head. It's obviously the whole nerve system collapsing all in one go.
Looped it over his vision there and just caught him on the side of the jaw. At first I thought it was up on the temple, but it was right on the side of the jaw.
It was on the side of the jaw. Caught him there, and he went down with it. Everything's in the corner right now. Dr. Natani, the Transvaal Commission chief, in with the paramedics in the corner. There you see, bang, as he goes onto the floor. They've got Fernandez lying on his side.
Excellent reaction by the medical officials to immediately go to his aid. Even before the 10 count was finished counting, they were on their way into the ring, and as was Brian Lynch, who knew that the fight was over with and wasn't going to even pretend that his fighter might get up.
Well, I think we saw it as that punch landed down. That man was beaten. He was not going to get up out of that shot. That was one of the better ones. Fernandez rolling over now, starting to kick here, move his legs. He's coming around. I've often found that one-shot knockout like that is not the dangerous punch. It's the man who's taken an awful lot of grimy punishment and then collapses. That's the one you've got to worry about. But a one-punch knockout like that, well, it knocks everything out of you. You're unconscious, but you come around. There he gets up now. They assist him to his corner, but he'll be okay. A headache tomorrow morning.
Big hand from the crowd, and well deserved.
Now Pretorius goes over to the corner, wishes him well. A little bit of a concerned man, no doubt. But here we get the official result from Dennis Diwali.
Ladies and gentlemen, 33 seconds in the 7th round. Our winner by knockout, Giovanni No Mercy Pretorius.
What an applause Pretorius gets. This crowd behind him. They like this kind of thing.
How could they not like it? It's an all-action fighter. He gives 100% to them every time out.
And you get that dramatic bang. There it is, that knockout. The winner, Giovanni Pretorius, a knockout in the 7th round.